Welcome to our Flinders project. This is a wine cellar that we've been involved in. It was probably started about 2 years ago. This is a historic, significant building in Flinders, built in around 1910, so one of the early homes in the area. The house had an underground sort of storeroom through here, and the client came to us and wanted to respect that original area of the home, but build on it and create a wine cellar. So welcome to the wine cellar. Come on in. So this is internal space of the cellar. Our original client brief was we wanted to respect some aspects of the house, being a heritage home. There was window apertures which we've kept and actually turned into windows. There's structural elements that are pronounced, and the general stepped layout of the room has been kept but enhanced. So I think that sort of was initial brief. And then we moved into what sort of imagery we should portray in these window apertures, and there was an initial thought of maybe yesteryear photos of Flinders, maybe looking out at the east landscape, and on the end here on the south, so you'd have Western Port and Bass Strait, and that could have been black and white or more modern coloured imagery. Picking the horizon and actually making that feel like windows. That developed further, and the client liked the sense of a nautical theme, and had some connections there. And the ship's cabin was sort of the final development. So the images pick up that stormy sea, and then we can delve into the windows while we're here, but the ocean and seascape photographer, Tal Lemons of Torquay, it's one of his images, and the client had an affiliation with his body of works. So we've collaborated with Tal and created this space where we've picked the horizon line, and the image wraps around. These windows have been designed where we've got an overlay architrave with a hidden light. So when we dim the lights, we get that sense of looking out at a seascape. We've got mirrors, bronze mirrors on 4 sides, so you get that reflective view of the image, and as you move around, you get sort of movement within the waves and that imagery. So again, a play on space, and I think again that subtle light, emphasising that imagery. So I think that's sort of a key element of the space: the window apertures, the respect to the original form of the building, and then that nautical theme, and the somewhere to a refuge in stormy weathers. And I think that was the idea. Flinders can be quite blustery and wintry and cold at times, and can feel like you're at sea, and this is a place to come and feel like you're bunkered away. So that's sort of the brief, and we've obviously gone with cedar. A lot of the cedar racking, cedar lining, cedar beam work, and timber floor, and again a lot of timber work around what a ship's cabin would have been like. Maybe not well stocked with wine, an old ship's cabin, but maybe with rum and some other drinks. So I think with the build, this whole area was dug out. The original retaining wall has been removed. There was structure through here, and that's all been pulled out, and some big steel's we've bought steel in here and hand propped and lifted all that up into place, and that then picked up all the first floor loads. there's a new footing that was dug, and Caulfield blockwork and steel work to pick up the tail end of all those, and they were propped back further while that work happened. So quite intricate under house sort of construction, and hand digging, and you know small 1 tonne excavator, with ventilation, getting a good airflow through, and using machine in here, and then obviously creating new drainage, and then we've got a new slab, Caulfield blockwork, and then another upper layer slab ties into the next step's retaining wall. And then the beams have been exposed in a cedar clad formation, so you're getting a sense of the structure above. So quite an intricate and interesting build. Two small doorways, with access in and out. So that's all taken place, and then we've moved into fit out, where we've got our cedar wine racking. Originally there was a concept of taking this higher to the ceiling, and the client's preference was to lower that and then have a bench. So when you're at the upper level, you're standing high, it becomes a bench, which is quite nice. It also opens up the ceiling, and I think gives us the space, a real bigger sense of space. So I think that was a good call. We've used mirrors, our signature mirrors each end, the bronze mirror, and that when you do come up here, you'll see the continuation of the flight of racking both ways. So I think that again really plays on the sense of space, and adds a nice mood. There's some older sort of ship sort of lighting above. And again, a lot of options on play and light. We'll just dim the lights for a second, and we'll show you what the little apertures look like. Yeah, so let's have a look at the upper level. Steps up, we've got a mirrored wall here, gives you that reflective view of the wine racking. There's a little hidden kitchenette in here, and store tucked away with a mirrored pivot door. And as we turn around, you've got the main run of wine racking down to another bronze mirror, and you get that reflective repeat view, really adding to the sense of space. Again, the cedar wine racking here, we've got a 11 bottle run with the 12th on display, so you can show what you're storing below. Double display, you can talk to the wine above. We've got our LED strip lights lighting up labels. This is repeated on this side. We've got a 12 bottle stack on this side, with a cedar bench, and that's double depth, so you're feeding in bottles from both sides, as it is repeated on the other side of the stair. These are our big cedar encased beams. You've got big steel that runs through and picks up the floor and structural loads above. And you've got that sort of openness now with this lowered configuration of the benched area. So that's the upper area. So a funny story, the client's brief actually came to fruition in a funny now type of way, but at the time it wasn't so funny. A month after handing over the project, the client rang to say there was water pouring in through the cellar, and there was an old toilet in a bathroom above where a connection had perished, and had been flooding over a period of time. So I walked in the door there, and there's water pouring out of the ceiling, and we've been able to mitigate a lot of that damage, and we've worked and had dryers in here, and there's some staining here now, but I think that kind of adds to the patina and the feel of what a captain's room would have been. But at the time, it was, we joke about it now, that was like the real true essence of the design brief. A ship at sea on a wild weather, and now we had the waterworks to finish the scene. Funny now, but not so funny at the time. Thanks for watching, and a special thanks to a great client, who really explored and got into developing the brief. And you can see here the finished products testament to that. So thanks to the team involved as always, and thanks for watching. I'm out of here.